All right, y'all, Fusion Sports Radio. And we're going to go on a wide selection of topics real quick. It is Friday, October 11th, 2013, and we are preparation for what, NFL Week 5? Week 6? Anyway, y'all, we're going to get into the Giants game, Bears game last night. That was atrocious. And you got to be worried if you're a Bears fan. We're also going to get into previewing this week, and then we're going to get into the bullet news, as we like to call it here on Fusion Sports Radio. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Let's hop into the show. Let's get some bullet news out of here. Jeff Gordon won the pole at Charlotte yesterday for the Sprint Cup Series. They run Saturday night on ABC, 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern Time. Also, we're staying with NASCAR news. They changed up the schedule. Darlington's going to run April 12th, and then they're going to move the Mother's Day race at Kansas, May 10th, both Saturday night races, so y'all just know that. They should send out the full schedule next week, so you can check that out there. Now let's hop into the Giants-Bears game. Wow. If you are a Bears fan, then you should be definitely worried, because the Bears defense, you go up, and the final score was 28-21. Eli Manning, who is getting some serious heat from the New York press, throws 3 interceptions, and they still come back to make it a close game. Now, he throws an interception with 2 minutes remaining, and the game is done with that. Couple kneel downs, call it a day. But, and yes, they had a pick 6, Bears defense. But if you look at the defense, Brian Urlacher's gone, Julius Peppers does not do anything on the defensive line. He doesn't do anything. Your core of that line doesn't put pressure on Eli. Eli just overthrows or makes bad decisions. The bad decision cost him one. Tim Jenkins, he read the play. You had Victor Cruz do a streak route, comes up, picks it off, takes pick 6. And then you have the final one where it goes through your tight end's hands, tipped in. That's a pick. But if you are the Bears, you have Jay Cutler, you got the Jeffrey kid, number 17, I want to say 6'4", 6'6", huge guy. You got Brandon Marshall, you got Martellus Bennett, and then you got Matt Forte in the backfield. So your offense is okay, but they don't put up enough points. Now you're saying, all right, they put up 28 points. Is that not enough? Well, if you don't have a defense that cannot get pressure to the quarterback, and yes, they sacked Eli, but come on now. At least one team gets a sack every now and then. If you give up 21 points, it was a shootout in the first half. I get that, okay? But if you are the Bears fans, you should be worried about this game. It's Eli Manning and the New York Giants. They're now 0-6, going 0-5 into this game. You almost got beat at home by the Giants, who threw 3 interceptions, and they came back on you. Now, Jay Cutler, awesome work. From running out of the pocket to throwing it to his wide receiver's feet when there's pressure. So, no sacks, no turnovers. Awesome play. Matt Forte, nothing. He couldn't get any penetration off the line. The offensive line is good, but not great. And running, forget about it. Brandon Marshall, middle of the field, good. Martellus Bennett, short passes. And then you got Jeffrey going deep. Awesome concept. But if you're that defense, you need to step it up. As far as the Giants, one, their line, offensive line, terrible. Defensive line, you can't get to the quarterback. They put no pressure. That core of that line with your 2 DTs and your left end, nothing. And you got JPP out there doing work, but he can never get to Jay Cutler and sack him because he always gets it out of his hands. If you look at Jay Cutler, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL that can get the ball out of his hands faster than anyone. If it's a quick slant, a quick seam, a screen pass, or he's just getting pressure, he gets the ball out of his hands, they make plays. Giants defense, terrible. You have no linebacker pressure at all. You have cornerbacks that get beat on routes deep, but can play press really, really well, and they can play short yardage. You have a running game that they had with Bradshaw. But no, I take that back. Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs was doing good, and I was like, who is that number 34? And he changed his number. Was 27, now he's 34. So you had the run game coming up, but Victor Cruz is really the only guy. Him and Akeem Nicks, they were doing their thing. Tight end wasn't there. You can't do screens to the halfback because he's a power running back. Just a lot of bad things there. But like I said, if you're a Bears defense fan, yes, they won at home. They won 28-21. I get that. They looked good in the first half, offensive-wise. But you got to win in the NFL with 28 points and not make it a close game. I'm sorry. If you go out there and score 28 points, your defense should at least do something. Now, I know it's a quarterback-driven league, and I know that defenses don't matter. But at the end of the day, if you're not Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Tony Romo, you got to go up 30, 40, 50 points to win in this league now. I'm sorry. You just have to. Because defenses, they're not there. You got NASCAR Nationwide race tonight at Charlotte, and then you got tomorrow night Sprint Cup Series race, Charlotte. They're in their chase. Another game that I'm looking forward to, and we're going to get into this game real quick, is it's the Fox game. I don't know. I think they call it the game of the week. Yeah, game of the week. It's New Orleans going to Foxborough and taking on the New England Patriots. Of course, New Orleans is undefeated. Patriots got, I believe, one loss. You have two top-tier elite quarterbacks, great quarterbacks, automatic Hall of Fame candidate quarterbacks. It's good weather, so you don't have to worry about it if you're a Saints fan, which I am. But how do the New England Patriots, who have one good player on their defense, which is a cornerback, which is a weird name, going up against all these weapons that Drew Brees has? He can run the ball with Pierre Thomas. If Mark Ingram, he's been a bust so far in my opinion, but maybe it's just because of the system that he's in, because they're more of a West Coast kind of throw, here's a run, throw, here's a run. So maybe the system wasn't best fitted. So you can pound the ball with Pierre Thomas. You can do quick draws to Sproles. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I apologize. He can go out and catch passes in the backfield. He can do deep routes because he's so quick. You need two guys to tackle him because he's so quick. You got Jimmy Graham in the middle going deep. You got Colston going deep. You got Stills in the middle. You got Moore deep. I mean, just so many talents. And how do the New England Patriots defend against this? Tom Brady, maybe Gronk. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about, well, if Gronk comes back, then, he's going to be your savior. The guy hasn't played all season. He's not in football shape. He got back injury. He got his forearm injury. He's not going to be the same player that he once was at first. So even if he does play, which he hasn't even been cleared yet, y'all, this is Friday. Now, he'll probably be a game-time decision. I get that. But he hasn't even been cleared yet. So you're putting all your eggs in this one basket, and you don't even know if he's, 1, going to be 100%, 2 is going to be the same player, or 3 is even going to play. If you're Tom Brady, you got young wide receivers, you got running backs that if they show up, they can do a decent job, but most likely they don't show up, even if the line can't get penetration, or if you even give them a chance to run the ball. And here's the problem. Drew Brees puts up so many points that you have to kind of go away from the run game and throw the ball because you have Tom Brady and try to compete in points. So you can eliminate that run game. Now, if Patriots get the ball first, score, and they always are up a point up, then you can run the ball here and there. But if you're 14 down, 2 touchdowns down, 10 points, 17 points, you're going to have to throw the football downfield. And that's the problem. The Patriots can't throw the ball downfield. All their wide receivers, 7-yard pass, 9-yard pass, 13-yard pass. No, they don't have big play experience. They can't throw 20, 30 bombs like Tom Brady likes to do. You take the middle of the field away with slants and curls and corners and post and all these things. What are they going to do? Because they don't throw it down the field. They can't. They don't have the speed, the quickness. So if you're the Saints, don't play press coverage. Back off and let them run to you. Shut it down. Bring some pressure. Rob Ryan is going to do that. He's going to bring that pressure. Can that line hold up for Tom Brady? That's going to be the question. Now, the Saints defense, they're actually one of the best defenses in the league right now, if you really think about it. They can blitz, they can play coverage, they can press, they can 4-man rushes, 3-man rushes, linebacker, corner, safety blitzes. Like, he can do a lot of different concepts. Can those rookie and not experienced running backs pick up those plays? That's going to be a big question. Can Tom Brady get the ball to his wide receivers in the middle of the field? Rob Ryan has to shut that down. He knows he will. I think this is going to be one of the best games of the year. I think this is going to be a very, very high-scoring game. And it is going to be, at first, a shootout. And then after that, Drew Brees is going to keep putting up points and points and points. And sooner or later, you're going to see him down 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. And Tom Brady, he'll make it close at the very end, but the third quarter is going to be very, very ugly for the New England Patriots. I see this game, I haven't really thought about the score much. I say 42-32. Is that a good game? That's a good, because it'll be either a touchdown or a field goal or 2 touchdowns difference in the game, and he'll always have to keep going up. I know they're home, and I know that they win a lot at home, but the Saints are a real contender for this week. Now we're going to hop into college football real quick, talk about my Oklahoma Sooners. Of course, tomorrow, Saturday, is the Red River Shootout. Oklahoma Sooners, undefeated, taking on the troubled Texas Longhorns. Mac Brown's job is in question. He is in doubt in the Longhorns fans' eyes. I think this game will be a lot closer than people think, but Oklahoma will run the ball down Longhorns' throats. They can't stop the run. They're okay on pass D, but Sooners have a very underrated defensive attack. They do lose their middle linebacker, which I don't like, but we can run the ball, control the clock, play defense, and we get a win. 2 touchdowns scored. I see it 24-10. And then the final game of the week, at least in my book, is Sunday night. Dallas Cowboys and Jerry World taking on the Washington Redskins. RG3, and RG3 has stated that he is done running the read option. He wants to be a Peyton Manning-like quarterback, where he sits in the pocket and he throws and throws and throws. Here's the problem, Mr. Robert Griffin III. You're not Peyton Manning. You don't have the arm of Peyton Manning. You were built on college, and you were built up to being the best quarterback in the NFC East, and possibly in the NFC behind Drew Brees, maybe Phillip Rivers. You're not that guy. You're a guy that can run the read option. And the only reason they had so much success last year is because they run the ball. Then they'll do a read option where you don't know if it's going to be RG3 or you're going to have Morse, right? And then so they put 8 in the box, right? You have man-on-man coverage with safeties on top or safeties covering. And then they beat their guy. That's what Washington did last year. Now, I'll admit this. They embarrassed my Dallas Cowboys with that read option. I get that. I'm okay with that. That's all in the past. Our defense, Dallas, terrible. The first couple games, I thought they were awesome. I thought they brought good blitz packages. I thought DeMarcus Ware was being a beast. Our safeties was controlling the field, but we released Will Allen, our safety, on Tuesday. And I thought we had a good defense. Well, I was wrong. Now, I get it. Peyton Manning destroyed our offense. 50 points. 50 points. I think it was 51. 50 points, though. You're going to give up. That is horrible. If you score 48 points in this league, you should win by a landslide, not lose. That scares me. Now, I know Peyton Manning is a surgeon. I know he's the best in the game right now. No doubt Hall of Famer, and I think he is one of the best quarterbacks of all time. But RG3 has a okay defense. Washington has an okay defense. Now, I haven't really watched much of Washington's games just because they've lost a lot. But what I have looked at this. When they play D, they give up a lot of points. And they give up a lot of running yards. DeMarco Murray will have a beast of a game. He's a beast. If you can run, when we run the ball, we are a very, very good team. Tony Romo did not lose us the game last week. Our defense was terrible. I think a lot of people think that Washington will come in and beat us. I think Dallas is a very, very underrated football club. If you look at the losses that we have, we're a 2-3 team. Our first loss came to Kansas City, who is 5-0. They're undefeated. And they are arguably one of the best teams in the NFL. Probably third, fourth seed in the NFC, in my opinion. But they played a weak schedule. And the only team that really competed with them was my Dallas Cowboys, who won by a 1 point. We would have won that game if Romo would have made a better read. There was a play inside the 20, I believe, third quarter, fourth quarter. And you had it where he audible to play to a screen pass. And you had Dez Bryant wide open in the end zone, which was a bad call. If you have Dez Bryant one-on-one in the red zone, give him the ball. So he blew that. I give that. And then Dez blew a deep pass, just a bomb. Hit him right in the hands, dropped it. So we made some errors. And our defense only gave up 17 points. I think it was 17-16. Then you go to San Diego, and Phillip Rivers, 400 yards, 415 I think it was, 410. Embarrassed us on defense. Showed us our weak flaws. We can block the run, but passing, forget about it. And we made some key errors, and San Diego's an okay team. So, okay, that's our first real loss, in my opinion. And the Broncos, we almost beat them, y'all. If our defense didn't get up so much points, we would have won that football game. So we're not that bad of a team. I think we're a very underrated team. NFC East is so bad. Eagles are nothing, Washington are nothing, and the Giants are just terrible. So I actually see Dallas making playoffs. I don't know if they'll do any real damage in the playoffs, but I see them winning the NFC East, even with an 8-8 record, maybe even a 7-9 record. I think they're a 10-5 team. I think they are about to go on a major roll. Maybe a 9-7 is probably more likely, but I think they make playoffs this year. If they run the ball successfully, if they just feed Dez and Witten the ball. Terrence Williams is he's a up-and-coming, he's a diamond in the rough right now. You got Cole Beasley if they spread it, and then you got Miles Austin, who I think will be released at the end of this year, who I think he should be released at the end of this year. When he's healthy, when he's 100%, he's a good talent, but he's not a great talent, not enough to have him play 4 or 5 games out of his 16, 17-week schedule. And Dez Bryant went and just keep feeding them. And that offensive line got to protect Romo. He can make plays on his feet. DeMarcus Ware needs to show up and get to RG3. They need to make a 3-man front. They run a 4th. Do they run a 3-4? 4-3? Because honestly, they said it once this week, and then the next week they're in a different whole formation. They need to bring DeMarcus Ware, make RG3 run out of the pocket, and then have a middle linebacker just on RG3 the entire game, so he doesn't go anywhere. And I think that's the defense package that Monte Kiffin is going to run this week. The score, I say 27-10. I don't know if I've already said the score, but I'm going to go with that. 27-10, maybe even 27-17. But I think the Dallas, and maybe even more points, Dallas controls this game, and they get this win that they ought to win. And I don't think they're going to blow it. What do y'all think? Leave it in the commentary below. Spread the word, alternativenewstalk.weebly.com. I try to do these once a week, maybe more. Twitter, Facebook. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching on YouTube. We will see you next time. Fusion Sports Radio, that's where it's at.